A shiny hunt for Christmas presents, and a lot more in another episode of Adventures in Shiny Hunting. Happy 2024 to everybody. I know I'm probably a little bit late on this video because it's Christmas related, but you know, I had a lot going on, so that's part of it. Welcome to 2024. This series will hopefully have a bunch more awesome shiny hunting episodes for you to enjoy. But we're gonna get things started with taking it back to Christmas of 2023. So my family has had a pretty tough year when it comes to finances. And we decided rather than giving each other presents, we were just going to completely forego that. And we just had everybody come over. We got some snacks. We played board games. It was a good time. Definitely a different style Christmas than what most of us are used to, but it was still a good time. But I didn't want my brothers to leave without any kind of present. So I decided to catch them a couple shinies as my Christmas present to them, which doesn't cost anything but my time. So the first thing I wanted to go after were shiny starters, and these are my brother's favorite shiny starters. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, well, why haven't you been posting all your shiny starter pickups? Because I have gotten quite a few. And throughout this video and future videos, you might see some of the shiny starters that I have acquired. I'm saving all of my personal pickups for shiny starters for a very big video that's going to be coming out where I get all of them. So be patient about that. But you might see some glimpses of some of the shiny starters that I've picked up throughout this video and future videos. Anyway, the first starter I decided to hunt was Rowlet for my younger brother Greg.
So I discovered this Rowlet outbreak in the savanna biome and decided to go around searching for all the lovely little blue boys, and I found a green one. Yep, it's the shiny. He's adorable, and I caught it for my brother. So, Merry Christmas, Greg.
So the next shiny starter was from my younger brother Zach, and his favorite was Oshawott. Interestingly enough, both of them love Legends Arceus starters, which is kind of cool. They also wanted the Hisuian forms of those starters, so after I caught these, I ended up sending them back to Hisui, evolving them, and then bringing them back into Violet. It was a whole process. But anyway, here's when I found my brother's shiny Oshawott.
Oshawott was actually a pretty difficult shiny to spot because its changes are kind of subtle. You mostly have to look for a slightly darker blue and then a pink nose. So it's not super obvious. Thankfully, this was the third Oshawott that I discovered, and I knew what I was looking for, so I spotted it fairly quickly. But yeah, now that I have three, I'm never doing this hunt again.
So in addition to getting in their shiny starters, they also happened to be the Delibird event that was going on at the same time. Of course, nothing is more Christmas than Delibird. So I decided to not only catch each of them a shiny Delibird, but also I wanted to try to find one myself because I only had Mrs. Claus. I needed to find Santa to go with Mrs. Claus. So I was looking for 3 different shiny Delibirds in 3 different outbreaks. Also, the shiny odds were boosted, which really helped and made these a lot easier than they could have been. But yeah, here's when I found the 3 shiny Delibirds.
So my first Delibird shiny hunt of the Christmas season was in the frozen tundra biome, which makes a lot of sense because it's Christmas time. So it didn't take me too long to find the purple Delibird chillin'. So yeah, first of 3 Delibirds that I need to acquire, 1 for me and 2 for my siblings for Christmas. So the second Delibird was in the coastal biome. So I guess Santa went on vacation, but I found a bunch from near this bridge. And one of them happened to be shiny. So there's Delibird number 2. This outbreak was really easy to get shinies if you missed it. So hopefully they'll do more events like this again. The third Delibird outbreak was in the canyon biome, and I really don't have a clever story behind why there was a Delibird outbreak in the canyon biome, but there was. It was in a pretty easy spot because it was just this dirt ramp, and Delibird stood out like a sore thumb, so it was pretty easy to spot, and I could just kind of stand in one spot. Thankfully, one did come up, so now I have 3 shiny Delibirds and complete this hunt.
So the next shiny hunt that I decided to attempt is probably one of the most challenging of all of Scarlet and Violet. Yes, more challenging than Tauros. That is Minior. The reason why Minior is such a difficult hunt is because in addition to the fact that Minior explodes, which is not easy, there's also no way to tell that a Minior is shiny unless you auto-battle it. So the only way to really boost your chances of getting a shiny Minior is find an outbreak, knock out 60, and just keep knocking them out until hopefully you find one that is shiny. And when you do, you gotta hope it doesn't explode. So there's a lot of ifs there. And, well, let me show you what happened to me.
So I was knocking out a bunch of Minior when all of a sudden my Gallade would not knock out this particular one, meaning it had to be shiny. So I saved just as a backup, ran into it, sure enough, it was. So this is a risk, but I decided to go for a quick ball. I did save beforehand, so it should respawn if it explodes. I threw a quick ball, caught it first try. Score shiny Minior.
So next I came across this Seviper outbreak, and Seviper is honestly a pretty underrated shiny. It's really nice, it has a nice green color, and the textures on Seviper are fantastic in Scarlet and Violet. So when I found a Seviper outbreak in the coastal biome, I figured, you know what, might as well go for it, and well, here's what happened.
So I already have one shiny snake, which is Arbok, so I might as well get another one, which is Seviper. And Seviper has really cool texture, so when I found this Seviper outbreak in the coastal biome, I decided to go for it. And, well, they didn't make this easy to spot, but I should have been, because he was hiding underneath the tree, and I didn't notice right off the bat that it was green. But once I did, I ended up catching my shiny snake.
So next we travel to the beach, where I attempt to track down a Galarian Slowpoke. Now, that's one of the coolest things about the Indigo Disc DLC, is the fact that you can find regional variants of various Pokemon scattered throughout several biomes, especially the coastal biome, where you can find Hisuian, Galarian, and a lot of Alolan. So, of course, I had to track down a a Galarian Slowpoke, which, unlike its Cantonian counterpart, has a pretty obvious shiny.
So there's one beach in the coastal biome that's just covered in Galarian Slowpoke, and thankfully Galarian Slowpoke shiny is super obvious, unlike normal Slowpoke, because it turns bright yellow. So I found my first one very quickly.
So similar to how there are different forms, specifically regional forms of Pokemon throughout the terrarium at the Blueberry Academy, there's also some forms that I just didn't have for some reason and decided might as well hunt. One of them is Braviary. I have a shiny Hisuian Braviary, but not the regular one. And I just so happened to find a Braviary outbreak. So I figured, you know what? Let's go find the America bird. And sure enough,
since I already had Hisuian Braviary, I figured it'd be cool to find a shiny regular Unova Braviary, and I happened to find an outbreak. After I ran away from this Krokorok, I happened to see the blue America bird in the background, and yeah, the rest is history. I caught myself a beautiful, patriotic, shiny Braviary.
So next I headed back to the beach. Why? to find another Slowpoke, because of course, Slowpoke has two forms, Slowbro and Slowking. So I needed a king, or in this case, a queen, so I know where to look.
I returned to the beach and happened to find another shiny Galarian Slowpoke just chilling underneath a tree while I was using a poison type sandwich. And yeah, now I have both Slowbro and Slowking Galarian version. Pretty dope.
So we're going to wrap up this episode with a return to the polar biome, where I decided to find Porygon, which I don't understand why Porygon spawns in the polar biome, but sure, I guess. So I decided to look for a blue and purple pixel bird, and sure enough, here's what I found.
So I was back in the polar biome and I happened to find myself a blue and purple Porygon, which is a pretty dope shiny, honestly. I've just never really thought about shiny Porygon. Fortunately, it was hovering above the water, so it was kind of hard to encounter, but I just switched islands and got him that way. So yeah, shiny Porygon on the team.
That is going to do it for this episode of Adventures in Shiny Hunting. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new around here, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. Yes, we got some more content finally coming on this channel, hopefully a little more regularly than it was over the past few months, including we got a new mini-series where I build 3 different theme parks and 3 different theme park games. That's going to be coming out, hopefully not too long. And then, of course, this series and the return of Bargain Game Hunter as well. So I hope you enjoy all that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode of Adventures in Shiny Hunting. Bye-bye.